Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this afternoon with Justin. As you've probably heard, Justin is living in Japan, but was currently from the beautiful New Zealand. And he's a software developer. He's actually also a teacher, which is fantastic because I used to be a teacher, so I love teachers to death. And Justin is mostly known for Poodle, the Poodle project, and he's going to run us through a few things today. And Justin, it's over to you, and I hope you have a great time.
Thanks very much, Wendy. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming along. I know some of you have just got out of bed, and some of you are maybe it's even the end of the day if you're in New Zealand or Australia. So appreciate that you came along to listen to what I have to talk about. And I am going to talk about Moodle and the YouTube plugins. As I said, I'm originally from New Zealand, but I live in Japan. I've been here for about 20 years. And I was a software developer. I made mainly financial applications for a small company here in Japan, and a little bit of time in New Zealand I worked in IT. But now I'm teaching full time, and so the Moodle things, it's almost a hobby really, but it's gone way beyond a hobby. So I'm really not quite sure what to do next year. So I'm thinking about maybe just concentrating on the Moodle and not on the teaching. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Sorry. Okay, I'm going to talk now about these plugins, and I'm just going to send you through the URL of a demo site that it's actually my dev site, my development site, but you can log in there. The login information is on the top page, and you can actually try it out as we talk, as I explain things, if you want to. Okay, that's actually my development site, so it won't always be. There's a few ghosts in that machine, so every now and then you might get a strange message. Just ignore that. Okay. Right, now the plugins, which plugins do we have? So there's three of them. There's the YouTube assignment submission. That was the first one that I made. And then there's the YouTube Anywhere plugin, which is for the TinyMC editor. So that appears on the editor. You can see the little red circle here. So you can record or upload YouTube videos into YouTube from anywhere within Moodle, as long as you have an HTML editor. And then over here we have the MyTube repository, which is very new. In fact, I've been up for the last 2 or 3 nights actually trying to finish that. My goal was to finish that before the iMoot, and it is now ready. Although perhaps I shouldn't say it's finished. It's a good beta or an early beta, but that can actually be used, and I'll show you that today. And if you looked on the presentation page for this YouTube presentation in the iMoot, I've actually got the download links for all of these things. And so if you actually want to download any of them, you can go and do that right away. Okay. The MyTube repository, it's so new, it's nowhere. The only place you can download it from is from that link on the iMoot page. Now, each of these have a bit of a story, so I'll just tell you that perhaps quickly the story, because it's quite interesting. The first thing to note is that the plugins were actually funded. All three of them were actually paid for. People actually paid me to write them, and that's basically the first time it's ever happened. I have done a little bit of work for people for Moodle, but very little. But people just seem to come at me, with the YouTube thing, and they came 3 in a row with these ideas that they wanted and things they wanted made. I think that really shows that there was a need for it. And perhaps because I was doing a lot of work with Poodle and video, I was probably the person they came to first. And having done, firstly, the YouTube assignment, I guess I became the go-to guy for the YouTube plugins. So I think it's very interesting that there's that much interest in using YouTube as a way to record video in Moodle. And the first company that approached me, or first organization, was Global Awakening. They're a religious organization, and their students, they practice giving lectures, and those lectures can be up to 1 hour. And so they take a video of themselves making this lecture, and that video is submitted for approval, or not approval, but appraisal within a Moodle course. But being 1 hour long videos, there really was no option to kind of upload all these videos into YouTube because, upload all these videos into Moodle because of the bandwidth and the storage restrictions. YouTube Anywhere plugin, that was crowdfunded. Okay, so Joe from Moodle News is going to be talking about that tomorrow, and that was funded by about 20 or so people actually contributed to a crowdfunded project on Indiegogo. It took about a month to get the funding together, and again, that shows that there's a lot of grass level interest in recording with YouTube. And finally, we had a grant from the Moodle Association of Japan for the MyTube repository. Okay, the MyTube repository came along after I put a proposal into this MyTube repository before YouTube Anywhere came into the picture. So even though they're two separate plugins, in some ways they do the same job, but that may not be so bad. Okay, well, I don't want to give you too much chalk and talk without anything to see. So I'm going to go through now and actually demonstrate the plugins so you can see them. And I'm sorry that the sound's not going so well. Generally, no one listens to me anyway. So as long as you can see me or hear or see what I'm showing you, perhaps the sound isn't so important. But I'm really sorry about that. Now let me share my screen. This does sometimes make the sound go dodgy, actually. And I'll just show you these three plugins very quickly. Okay, this is the test site that I've set up for you. And I think I'll move my region. Yeah. This is the Moodle 2.4 test site. You can come here yourself if you wish. It's m24.poodle.com. And I'm already logged in as the administrator, so I don't need to log in. But should you need to log in, here are the usernames and passwords. Passwords are all the same. And I've put a couple of activities here for you. Well, really only two activities. There's a forum and a YouTube submission assignment. Let's have a look at the YouTube assignment. Okay. Actually, this is the assignment. I put a video of me telling a joke there. If you want to see that, you probably don't. But because I'm logged in as a teacher, I don't think I'm going to be able to actually show you the assignment itself. Let's go and have a look at the settings for the assignment. Okay, so the YouTube submissions has a lot of settings, so you can really set it up how you want it. Actually, I might go through later and explain most of these settings in some detail, but a key setting here is the authentication method. So do we allow students to make students use their own usernames and passwords with YouTube, Google to log into Google and then upload or record their videos, or do we use a master YouTube account? If we use a master YouTube account, then we have one username, which is in this case poodlesupport@gmail.com, and one password, and we log in on the server, and the student doesn't have to log in, which is really good, really convenient, but there are some drawbacks to that, which I'll cover later. Probably wasn't the best thing to show you straight away, so let me show you forum post. I'll submit something to a forum using the YouTube Anywhere on the TinyMCE. Right, so here we have our TinyMCE editor. Let's put a forum post. And this is the YouTube Anywhere icon that appears on the editor. If we click on that, we get this dialog here. Now we have to log in before we can do anything. So let's choose to record a video because that's the fastest. Click to record. And I may actually have already logged in, so I may have a cookie set, which is why you don't see a login screen. And there's me. Okay, so I start recording. Hello, this is the iMoot. It's 29 degrees in Japan, and I've been here 20 years. Okay, we stop recording, we click the upload button, and we're done. We still need to insert that, so we click insert, and the link appears within the forum. It's not actually expanded out into a player yet. When we post it to the forum, in a moment, that the video has arrived.
I just got back and called it.
Now, one small kind of thing people notice when they first start using it is that it's not instantaneous, because the video arrives at YouTube, but it hasn't actually been processed yet. So YouTube is still kind of grinding it through. So it may take anything from 30 seconds to 5 minutes before that video becomes available. So if I click to play now, it probably won't play. It says this video is unavailable. However, in a few moments, were we to come back, and we will come back, that video will actually play. So I'm going to turn off my sharing and come back to you. People are logging in already. Okay. Ah, right. Sorry, guys. You're right. Okay. I see that you don't have the icon. That's my bad. Hang on a second. Wait on a moment. One of the settings there that I have is actually to hide that from users based on their role. So I've actually hidden it from you. Sorry, that was a bit silly. Let's change it for you now. Okay, try that again, and just refresh your page, and I think you'll see the icons there. I hope it's there. Yes, yes, the video is hosted on YouTube.com. So once the video is uploaded, then it all happens from YouTube. So the video is not stored in Moodle, and although there's a link in Moodle, the video just stays and is served up from YouTube.com. Can I just check? Can you guys actually see the plugin? Oh, the icon's in there. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Well, I want to move on now and just talk a little bit about video recording and some of the justifications for using video. So I guess the main thing that I want to say about video recording is that it's now a video world, and if any of you, which I'm sure you have gone to YouTube when you need to know how to do something, to look at a video tutorial, you'll know what I mean. It's very fast, and it's very accessible, and you can see, you don't have to go and find a book. It's right there on the internet in front of you. And it's not just me or you. The students here in Japan, my students, they go straight to YouTube when they need, something or some information or some idea. They're always on YouTube. And I think it's just a new medium that we have to deal with in education, and it's a great medium because it offers us a lot of opportunities. Video gives us a lot of variety, so or adds variety to the class. So rather than just talking to their friends or writing in their book, if they can watch video, they enjoy that. But also if they can record video, that's really something new and different. And it's just another thing that you can add to your bag of tricks to keep your classes lively and moving. Videos are really good for peer consumption. So I think if you ask your students to record their self-introduction, say 2 minutes in length, if you have a class of 60 people, then that's going to take 120 minutes, 2 hours just to watch the videos, not to respond to them or not to review them. So if you actually have to deal with those videos one-on-one, it's very time-consuming. But the flip side of that is that, or the flip side, the other edge of that, is that for their peers, to actually see their peers, their friends or the other people in their class speaking or interacting on video, it's really great. The reaction from the students is tremendous. And so I've found that using video in my classes, not every day, but sometimes, it's really, really good. The students look forward to it and they enjoy it. And those videos are also reusable. So the following year, if I've had the students make speeches, I can use speeches from those previous years to demonstrate what I expect the students to be able to produce. Or if I have the students make a like a hint game, and we use the hints to guess things. In subsequent years, I can use those hints and the videos that people have made again. So that's actually, after a while, you build up a huge body of resources, and it's really, really good. Teresa, yes, the videos are, I'm actually going to come on to the privacy thing, but the videos are, there's three options in YouTube. There's unlisted, there's private, and there's public. And by default, the YouTube Anywhere plugin sets them to be unlisted, which is effectively private. That you can change it, you can set that to private, or you can set that to public in the admin settings for each of the plugins. Assessing different skills, so with video you can check their presentation skills, you can check gestures, various things, and if you like you can even teach video editing. So video really gives us lots of things to do. Initially I saw the YouTube plugins as being, for making content for teachers, because being able to make content very quickly, put it on YouTube and then put it on Moodle at the same time, it has the benefit of the being everywhere thing, so people can find your Moodle course from different locations, not just from you telling them about it. They can actually discover it on YouTube, but also students can make videos, and actually having the accessibility of the YouTube Anywhere icon on the TinyMC editor or in the assignment for assignment submissions, you can do any of these 6 or 7 activities, and I've used probably all of them at times with my students, and they're high school students. So it's a lot of things that you can do. We teach English. If you're doing something that's not a language course, I'm sure there's still good reasons to use video, but probably language teachers have more opportunities to use them than others. I don't think I need to read those and explain them. I think you can probably see what they are, so I'll just move on. So with Poodle, we've done a lot of video recording, and people like Poodle. One of the main reasons is because they can do video recording quite simply. But there's still problems with Poodle and with any other video plugin for Moodle. One of the big ones is storage. Videos take up a lot of space, and the people who originally contracted the YouTube assignment submission, their big issue was that these videos were going to be 1 hour long, so they're going to be huge. And if they had hundreds of students uploading these videos, they couldn't possibly deal with it on their own server. So that means they have to go off-site, don't they? So Cultura or one of those other services. But Moodle seemed a good fit for them, which is why they came through and we made that plugin. But I also spoke to somebody at the Birmingham City University in the UK just the other day, and yeah, they have great problems too, because their Moodle data directory is just swollen and they don't know what they can delete safely, and they're also in a pickle because they have to now deal with the problem that their servers are running out of space. So the storage thing is really big, especially with video, because the video files are so large. Bandwidth, well, yeah, again, it's similar to storage, is that if you have 40 students all downloading a video from your server, you better have pretty good bandwidth. But if we're using something like YouTube, we can avoid that. And perhaps the issue that's on a lot of people's minds at the moment is file formats, because there are so many different formats out there and so many things record into these different formats that you have a real problem basically accepting them, and also then getting students to play them back, because not everybody can play back those videos that have been submitted. And so with the mobile devices, there's 3GP, and then there's W.MOV, and I'm not sure what the new Windows 8 machines record in. But of course, there's all these different formats, so it's really difficult, and the playback becomes a real problem too. And I think most people are gunning for HTML5, but HTML5 isn't that simple either. But all this adds up to like an enormous amount of complexity, and for the teachers who are really interested in tech, perhaps they can deal with this. But for just the average teacher who doesn't really want to deal with that, they just want their students to record video. it's been really difficult for them. And I think these YouTube plugins are going to go some way to reducing that complexity and making recording video as for content and for student submissions much more accessible. Right, places where YouTube is banned. Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't have a good answer for that. Yeah, it's a shame, but perhaps later, a little bit further down the line, we could look at supporting other things that aren't YouTube, like Vimeo or something like that. But yeah, I guess the fact that YouTube is banned in places is a bit of a problem. Oh, great, Richard. Richard, of course, was one of the contributors. Thanks very much, Richard. Okay, now let's. So anyway, it's YouTube to the rescue. Okay, so YouTube's going to come along and remove all these problems of storage and bandwidth and file formats and complexity, because it's just a big black box that handles it all for us, and that's basically true. So no matter what device we use to get our video into YouTube, it converts it for us, and later when somebody goes to play it back, it'll play it back for them in the correct format. So YouTube is going to handle all of that for us, and it sounds like, you know, a pipe dream, but in fact it works really well. So in the time since I started making these YouTube plugins, and I've had chance to test it and use it, it's much more reliable than any other video recording solution for Moodle, and it just lowers the bar so low that if you're on a GoDaddy or a Bluehost website with your own Moodle and you're paying $4.99 for hosting a month, you can still use video recording on your website, on your Moodle site. So I really think it's great. Okay, and of course I do, because I made it. Okay, and how are we going for time here? Okay, so let's look at the various tabs that we have for on each of the YouTube plugins. We have 3 tabs, and one of them is the record tab, so you can record from a webcam. That's this one here. And the other tab here, this is the upload tab. You can upload a video into YouTube. And this one here, this is only available on the assignment. And this is just, you simply paste a YouTube URL. Now this is not very useful, and this is the original YouTube plugin, and I need to come back and remove this and replace it with this one here, which is the Browse tab. And this gives you a list of videos that have been previously uploaded or recorded into the YouTube account. So if you're logged in as a student, it will show you the student's YouTube videos. And if you're logged in using a master account authentication, it will show you the uploads that you made into that master YouTube account. So this here, submit a URL, that's actually going to disappear, and we're going to replace it with this browse function. So yes, MyTube is the name for the repository. Okay. Yeah. Let me just show you now, just because I've been talking for a while now, and I know people like to see these things for themselves. So I'm going to show you now an upload of a video. Let me turn my sharing on again. Start sharing. Okay. So we'll go back into our forum. And let's, me drinking wine. All right, user 9. User 9 didn't just get up in the UK. Oh, there we go. So somebody's drinking wine. Who is that? Good though. Great. I'm going to reply to that by uploading a video. So upload a video, so I'm going to log in. This time I'm actually asked to log in, and this is the login screen that pops up. I'll log in. I've got two names here. I've been mysterious, but having multiple logins. And we're presented with this choose file or and upload a video. It's actually perhaps a little bit confusing. First we have to choose a file, and then we upload it. So I will choose a file. Let's see. My Dropbox folder. 2003, and I have prepared a video here, Toyota Corolla video. I hope I haven't already uploaded this before. Okay, now when I click the upload video button, we get this little spinny thing here. Now this is one of the things that really needs to be improved. We don't get any information back from YouTube as to how long it's taking, so I can't show a meaningful progress bar, which is really a bit of a drag, but I have a couple of ideas of things we may do so we get a progress bar. On a short video like that, it's probably no issue, but on a really long video, I think we do need some way of indicating how far you have left to wait for the upload to finish. Now we click Insert, and it goes straight into the HTML area. You can post that to the forum. And again, that'll take a few moments before we can actually play that back, but we will be able to play that back. Okay. Just stop screen sharing here for a moment. There was Teresa drinking wine, but I need Teresa. I should be drinking it too. Okay, now, so that was uploading a video. Now, the neat thing about uploading a video is that it presents us a way to handle those users who don't have Flash installed. So if you're on an Android tablet or an iPad, then you probably don't have Flash, and so you can't use this webcam recorder here. But in either case, on an Android tablet or on an iPad, you can actually click on the upload a video button. You'll be presented with the option to take a video straight from your iPad or from your Android device. And that way students can actually take a video straight on their device and upload it into YouTube. So whether your students are on mobile devices, whether they are on desktops, you can cover both bases. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? I want to go through and cover now some of these settings because there are a lot of settings and some of them are quite useful and some of them are quite interesting. So here we have the settings for the tab set. So there's three tabs, as I said. There's the File Submissions tab, there's the Webcam Submissions tab, and then there's the Browse tab. Actually, I've called that Enter Submissions from YouTube account. So you can actually choose to enable or disable those. Right? So if you know that your students aren't going to use the webcam because you don't have web cameras, well, you can just uncheck that and it won't appear. Similar with the file submissions, if you don't expect users to upload a file from their computer, well, you can uncheck that tab and then just take webcam or even get users to select from their account. This is for the Tiny MCE the YouTube Anywhere plugin. This allows you to set who can access the plugin. So you noticed before that when you went to access the icon on the editor, when you tried to add a YouTube video to a forum post, you weren't able to do that, and that's because this here was unchecked. This allows students. So this way, if you only want teachers to be able to record video, then you can have it set up like this. If you'd like anybody to be able to record video onto YouTube, you can just check, and check them all. Teresa, it's a good question, and actually, no, it probably doesn't because I haven't thought it through that far. But that is a good point. If the roles list does change, we're probably going to have to add some way of managing that. Sorry, it doesn't work for the moment. However, here, there are two ways of setting them. So if we use the by capabilities here, then you can just assign that capability to the custom role, the Tiny MCE YouTube accessible. Okay, and then they'll be able to access it. But if there's actually another drop-down here I haven't showed you, which is to use these checkboxes down here. It's really a bit confusing, but if you choose by capability, it won't use these checkboxes. It will just use the people who have been assigned this capability. If you choose by role, then it will choose these predetermined roles here. I actually had thought that capabilities was going to be even more flexible than this, and I was quite disappointed because I thought that I'd be able to go to the a particular forum and just enable students the YouTube icon on their particular forum. I thought I'd be able to do that, but I can't do that without actually editing the forum itself. I need to add the capability to the list of capability that the forum handles in code. So I was a bit disappointed, and there may be some way around that. I just may not have fully understood the capability system in Moodle. But ideally, I think I'd like to be able to enable this particular forum and not that particular forum for YouTube recording. It's a project, and if I perhaps talk to somebody more knowledgeable on the Moodle developer forums, I might get a better answer. Yes, that's right, Randy. Add the capability of the custom roles and just leave it as set up as by capability, and you can actually work with those custom roles. Yes, the capabilities. Perhaps I won't go too much of that because you may actually use those more than me. When I try to add a particular capability, like when I try to access the TinyMC YouTube accessible capability from that forum's permission settings, it just isn't there. It's not on the list of settings that I see. So I think I need to actually modify the forum code. But if I don't have to do that, I'd be very happy, and I'd make that change to allow you to do that as soon as I could. Yes, I think so. Okay, let me move on to the next setting, which is the big talking point, really. The privacy settings. So the question was asked before about whether or not the users, whether or not the videos will be made unlisted, whether they'll be made private, or whether they'll be made public. So that setting is here, it's a privacy setting, and if you set them to unlisted, then anybody can access them if they know the URL. But the URL is, a very strange URL that you couldn't really predict. So it's effectively private. That allows you to use it as though it's private. In YouTube terms, a private video is a different thing, which you have to specifically grant access to that video to YouTube users, to other YouTube users, and you can only grant access to up to 50 users. So probably you don't want private, although there may be a case where you would. But should you need that, you can actually set the privacy setting to private. So clear, I'm not sharing my screen. It's just on the slides here. Can you see my slides? I was worried that people wouldn't be able to see my screen share, so I prepared slides with these settings on them. There are slides here. You can't see slides? Moderator, where are you? Okay, some people can see slides. Well, I can go back to screen sharing if that's better. Yeah, the screen sharing I turned it off. I think you probably have to move something around on your own screen, as Teresa's saying there. So unfortunately, I just can't see your screen, so I don't know how to give you advice there. Well, let me change screens around and come back again. Maybe that will trigger something. You see anything there? Has it popped back up again? Great. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to move on. I'll come back. I'll come back and do some screen sharing Yes, they are on the Moodle site, on the iMoot site. If you try that, you'll see them there. Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I'll just move on, Claire. Very sorry about that. But the slides are available from the iMoot site, and I'll begin screen sharing again soon. Okay, so I skipped this talking about this here, but here we have the this section here. People can comment on videos on YouTube. So people can actually comment on your videos on YouTube, and they can rate your videos on YouTube, and they can respond by video to your videos on YouTube, which are wonderful features, but you may not want them. You may not actually want strangers or other students even rating videos on YouTube. So here you can set that to be yes or no. Yes you allow, no you don't allow that. However, these settings can only be applied to videos which are uploaded. They can't be applied to videos which have been taken from the webcam recorder on the various tab sets. And that's just simply a limitation of the API. On the webcam recorder, we're not offered the hooks by which to set those permissions. And that means that actually by default, those videos which are recorded from a webcam and uploaded to YouTube, if somebody can see those because they know the URL, you've given it to them, or it's on a forum, then they can comment on that video and they can rate that video too. So that's just something to be aware of. Now, authentication, this is the biggie. Okay, so I briefly introduced this before. You can authenticate using a master YouTube account, or you can use a student's YouTube account. Now, if you use a master YouTube account, the student doesn't have to log in. They can go and they can upload a video, or they can browse and choose a video without logging in. You've logged in for them. And your account is secure. They can't delete items from your account either. However, that doesn't work for the webcam. For the webcam, the student must log in by themselves. So it's actually a little bit confusing, even for me, and I think for students it's going to be really confusing. So in general, I suggest you just use students' authentication. You have the students log in using their own Google or YouTube username and passwords. It works better, and it's much simpler. But if your students are younger learners or they're lower level, then you could use the master YouTube account, and that's actually quite useful for testing and for content creation also. So here are those settings. So if you set for use master YouTube account, then it will use this YouTube master account password and this YouTube master account username here. Okay. For both using the master YouTube account or using students' accounts, you'll need to have a YouTube developer key. You can get one of those for free, all right? And there's more information on the documentation which you get when you download the plugin, telling you how to get a developer key. It's free. It's very simple. You can be done in 5 minutes. If you're going to do uploading or using the browse tab, if you're going to be using master YouTube account, you don't need these OAuth 2 keys. But if you are going to be using the students account logins, then you'll be using these OAuth 2 keys, which again you can get from Google, and they're free and take about 5 minutes to get them. And it's quite confusing, so I suggest you just get all of them. You just get the developer key, you get the client ID, and you get the client secret for OAuth 2. You get all three of those things and you enter them there, and then you just forget about them. And later, if you wish to toggle, you can go back and forth on these. And just a little bit more on this master account versus student account, which is quite confusing, but it's quite important. If you do have your students use a master account to log in, well, they're not logging in, you're logging in for them, then the master account owns the videos which are uploaded. So if they start uploading copyrighted material or lots and lots of material, then you're responsible for that, and your account could actually be banned or have restrictions placed on it. So you should only really use a master account if you really trust your students or if you're creating content. If you've got young learners or learners of low ability, this may be a good idea. But in most cases, I think using a student account will be better because the student then is responsible for their uploaded videos, and in some ways you're shielding yourself from privacy things because they're responsible for their own video. So you're not responsible for their video, they are. It does mean that if they submit a video as an assignment submission, even after the deadline's closed, they can actually go in and edit their video, can't they, or even delete it, and there's not much you can do about that. That is a limitation of using the YouTube plugins with student account logins. Yeah, you're right, Anna. The master account is simpler, and even just for testing or when you just get started and you're trying things out, it works very well and it's simple. But the webcam tab doesn't actually use this. Doesn't use a master account whatever you do. There's no way we can make it use the master account. So the student will have to log in if they're going to use the webcam to record. Oh, great. Yeah. So yeah, I've a few colleagues who also have all their emails handled by Google, so it works very well for them. Yeah, good point, Randy. Let me go through and show you some of that. Yes, their name is associated with it. So the title of the video is if it's the YouTube assignment, YouTube assignment submission by, and then the student's name, their full name. But there may be cases where users have the same name, so I think it might be a good idea in the future to actually tag some other unique ID, like their Moodle ID, onto that. But at the moment, we don't have a unique tag for the video title, but they do have their full name on the title. Let me go through just and quickly demonstrate that to you. How are we going for time? I'm really sorry that people are still having problems with their stuff, but so there's not much I can do about that. But I do wish. Oh, only 8 minutes? Oh heck. Yeah, I'll very quickly share my screen, and I'll open things up to questions. Okay, so here we are here, and go to the settings page for the YouTube Anywhere plugin, which is the TinyMC editor, and we'll change the authentication here from use students to use master. Okay, and now we'll be using this poodlesupport@gmail.com, and we're using this master account password here, which is secret. And then we'll go back. We'll save that one. Save that. Go back into our course. Actually, you can see the video that I uploaded before, which is a Toyota commercial. It's actually a ranch. Here we have the YouTube icon. We click on the YouTube icon, and there you see we don't have to log in anymore. Okay, we're already logged in. Okay, this one, however, as I said, requires students to log in, so you do have to log in still there. Click to display a list. Okay, and here we have a list. So here we have, because I am the admin user, it's showing me only the videos that I uploaded into the master account, and they are tagged with admin user using YouTube Anywhere. Okay. So if I was logged in as user 1 or user 2, then it would show user 2 using YouTube Anywhere, or user 1 using YouTube Anywhere. Or if they hadn't uploaded anything, there would be no videos here at all. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Yes, Randy, you can hide the webcam tab at any point using the tabs. I think I have a little screenshot here. Very first setting. Here we've got on the settings on the tab set, we've got enable file submissions, enable webcam submissions. If you uncheck this tab here, then the webcam submissions tab won't show. Okay, it's not automatic. You'd actually have to set master authentication and then come here and uncheck that checkbox. Okay, there's a bit of a comparison chart here about the various things on each of those plugins, but I think I'll leave that for now and just take any questions. And there is documentation. The documentation is actually within the plugins themselves. So I think there's a little bit of documentation on Poodle.com, but not enough. I have to kind of put it on the web. But if you download any of the plugins, there's a PDF inside the plugin which has detailed documentation about all of what I've talked about here. Yeah, I've heard people say that they'd like to use this as a replacement for Kaltura. I don't know about Kaltura. I don't know much about it really. I've seen it, but never really had a chance to use it myself. But it's certainly a lightweight option, I think, for people who don't want to do that. There's no copy on the Moodle server. It all goes to YouTube. So if it won't take data space up on your server, and if anything happens to your YouTube account, you have to deal with that. So that's the situation. Yeah. All right. Any more questions? Yep. Is there a way to turn off related videos in your plugin at the end of viewing a video? It's a good question, Tim. Boy, that's a good question. Possibly yes. Yeah. Let me just go back a tab here. I'll show you something. When we show those videos that are uploaded using YouTube Anywhere, we use the multimedia plugins filter. So we just pop the link into Moodle, and Moodle it turns that into a YouTube player. And that's also the same with the MyTube repository. So we just leave that up to the multimedia plugins filter. With the YouTube assignment, we actually use the YouTube API to show a player. And I think if we tweak things a little bit here, we can actually disable showing of related videos, and we may even be able to do that via the multimedia plugins filter. That's something we should definitely look at. It's a good point. No, Claire, if they're using the master YouTube account, they can only see their videos within the YouTube plugins. So if it's on a forum or something like that, of course they can see other people's submissions, but when they're just using YouTube Anywhere or the YouTube repository, they can't see the other learners' videos. Anna, I think you probably can. I'm sorry, I'll have to go and check. I'm not sure. I certainly hope so. Yes, privacy is such a big thing. You have to. I know it for sure. There you go. Great. So you can control that there. Yeah, I think it's probably I should go away and look at that and add that to the documentation, because I think when you're looking at videos from your students and something pops up that's unrelated, it's quite a distraction. So if we can disable related videos, that'd be great.
Hi, Justin. I'm just going to pop in here at the moment and
Sure.
say thank you very much for the presentation. It was awesome. And
Great.
that people can keep chatting for the next 10 minutes or so. And in about 40 minutes, Martin Dugianis will be on talking about Moodle 2.5. So you're welcome to hang around for that. But we're not closing just at this point, so you can keep chatting with Justin at this. And again, thank you, Justin, so much for your work this afternoon.